Good day. Good day, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a special time with Meditation with the Moon. And I think it's good that it is a special time because it's a special moon. It is the harvest moon, and it's also a couple of days before the equinox. So I think it's perfect timing, don't you? So, I am Rev Melissa, and this is Meditation with the Moon. We do this with the full moon and with the new moon. So, today is meditation with the full moon. So, welcome. We do a full blown spiritual practice of inspirational reading, inspirational journaling, meditation, and prayer. So if you don't have one handy, grab something to write with. So I have my journal here and have a pen because we're going to do some writing if this is your first time doing meditation with the moon. All right. So we always start off with me sharing some information about this full moon. And I shout her out every time. It's a young woman. Her name is Alina Alive, and she's all about the moon. And I love checking her out. And so I want to share some of what she said about this particular moon. Okay. The harvest moon. Do you know why it's named the harvest moon? It's named the harvest moon because it's the closest new moon to the equinox. So the equinox is on September 22nd, and it's the last moon of the summer. The last moon of the summer. And so it's the last harvest, so to speak. Okay? The last harvest. So it's good to see you, Tim, Diego, Nan. We're doing it earlier today. So just join right on in. So just like nature, we also have our own seasons, right? So we're in the season of reaping what we have sown, right? With the harvest. And the full moon itself, in general, eliminates what has been working and what has not been working, right? So it really shines a spotlight on what's been working and what hasn't been working. It's a perfect time when we're in that full moon energy to reflect on what it is that we would like to release. So think about, what is it that I would like to release into this full moon energy? It's also the full moon that's in the sign of Pisces. My girls are Pisces. And the way that Pisces shows up in the full moon reminds me of them because it's a water sign. Pisces is a water sign, and it's a sign of intuition, of imagination, and of empathy. It's also a sign of romance. Okay, sign of romance. So it's a very good time for us to set our intentions in that area, right? So if you want to get some clarity, you want to set an intention around your intuition, using your imagination, touching, going within and accessing your empathy. And maybe it's empathy towards yourself. And if you're up for romance, it's a good time to set the intention for that too. It's also a good time to stay open minded, optimistic, and progressive with any new ideas that are starting to percolate. This is the perfect time for expansion, and the energy is one of good fortune. So, I also have my Moonology cards that I love, and this is the full moon in Pisces card, and it's called Balance, Spirituality, and Practicality, right? And I love those two things together because we need to be able to apply these principles to our lives. So it's good to be spiritual, but how do you apply the spirituality aspects into your life? So I'm going to read just a little bit of what the card indicates. So, one of the ways you can attune to the moon is to meditate every day and see what comes to you. So, you set an intention and then you meditate on that intention and see what comes to you. And the answer will come. It's also a time of super romance. Not super realistic though. It's a wonderful time to follow your intuition, as I have said, because your intuition will never let you down. And it's also a great time to go within and get clear about what it is that you want to attract into your life. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else. Yes, it's also a time to send out your dreams to the universe. Send out those dreams to the universe and release your fears. All right? So the moon energy will absorb those fears and return it to the nothingness from which it came. So it's a good time to do that. All right. So there's your moon information. Now let's go into our spiritual practice. All right. So I'm going to read from this month's Science of Mind magazine. And I'm just going to do, hmm, I'm going to do the 22nd because that's the day of the equinox. So let's just see what it says. Let's see what the cosmos wants us to know. So it's called When God Closes a Door. And the opening quote is from Meister Eckhart. I am as sure as I live that nothing is so near to me as God. God is nearer to me than I am to myself. My existence depends on the nearness and the presence of God. And then we have a quote from Ernest Holmes' book, Can We Talk to God? Sometimes we call it conscious. Sometimes we call it a hunch. Sometimes we call it a vision. And sometimes we call it a dream. It makes no difference what we call it. It is a direct revelation of omniscience through us. And here's the guide. And this month's guide is from someone that I just adore, Reverend Dr. Ramont Anderson. And he's a great prayer. And so I was thrilled when I saw he was doing the guides for this month. This is what he writes. When God closes a door, it is because you are leaving the house. There is no God external to us that is evaluating what we should or should not do. There is no cosmic 2x4 that the universe will use to bonk us on the head if we go in the wrong direction. Each of those ideas is rooted in a God that is separate from us. And although we may be comfortable with the new thought twists, it is still identifying a God that punishes and pushes and controls what we do and become. If I make a phone call on a phone from 1877, will that phone allow me to do what today's phone does? It is still a phone after all, simply making a call. The 1877 phone is limited in its ability to connect globally as my current cell phone or even the landline phone can do. An old image and understanding of God will not allow us to connect in the same manner as a more accurate, more effective, more truth-based understanding and embodiment of God will do. James Lipton, host of Inside the Actor's Studio, would end each show asking the guests 10 questions, the last of which was, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? I now ask, because heaven is within, a state of consciousness that I experience as I become more aware of it, what does God, through direct revelation, say to me each time I go within? And here's the closing affirmation. I have an intimate and powerful unified relationship with God. Revelations of truth occur within me from my intuition and divine nature. God speaks to itself as me. Mm. God speaks to itself as me. That was one of my favorite shows, Inside the Actor's Studio. And I remember those 10 questions. So let's just consider that when God closes a door, don't go open it back up. Sometimes we want to go open that door back up. We need to let it stay closed because something else is seeking to come through. Yes? Okay. So we're going to do, I'm going to call it a mini visioning today. So please grab some paper that you can, and something to write on. We've done visioning in the past on Meditation with the Moon, but we're not going to do a full segment of it today. So let me just grab it. Okay. So just get comfortable. We're going to play some soft music in the background. Envisioning, if you're not familiar, I think everyone that's on right now is familiar. But if you're watching the replay and you're not familiar, visioning is simply catching God's idea, catching Spirit's idea, right? It is going from our limited perspective and catching the fuller picture, right? And we do that by going within and connecting with the field of love, the consciousness of love, where everything flows with grace and ease. And you just allow yourself to be the opening for that to come through. And so we get guidance through this process by asking specific questions. And the life visioning process was developed by Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he has a book by the same name if you're interested in exploring this more. So let's just go within. We start with a simple guided meditation, and then I ask a question. And whatever comes through, the important thing is not to analyze it, not to say to yourself, that don't make no sense. Just let it be what it is. It could be a vision, it could be words, it could be a sound, right? It could be symbols of something, colors. It doesn't matter. It's just, you're just allowing it to flow through you. And then if something comes that you want to note, you can write it down on your piece of paper or in your journal. And if nothing comes, that's okay too. That's okay too. You just be with what is. Just be with what is. So in between each question, there'll be silence for a minute or two. And then we'll go to the second question and so on and so forth. Okay? All right. So let's go within with our breath, just becoming more conscious of our breath. And we just breathe. So allow yourself to be a little more comfortable, but alert. It's not time to go to sleep yet. We're just going within, and we're allowing our breath to guide us deeper and higher. And we breathe. And as we breathe, we welcome peace. We invite it in. Through each inhale and exhale, our body relaxes more and more. It's been a full day, and now you can release it and just be here now. Release any tension you may be holding, especially in your jaw, your shoulders, your back, your seat bone, your thighs. Just allow your body to breathe without holding your breath. An easy flow, a rhythm, full as the moon. Allow your breath to be. With each inhale, fill yourself up with the love that is within you, with the love that is you. Bring to mind a time in your life when you felt unconditional love. It may be from a friend, a family member, a pet, someone who just loved you just as you are, unconditionally. It could be spirit, it could be an ancestor, it could be your child. Whomever it is, connect with that energy of it now. And just welcome that field of love to radiate from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Feel the warmth of the love, of acceptance, of peace and ease. and allow it to expand in all the nooks and crannies. Allow it to fill you up. And breathe. And we go within to access God's idea for our next thing. Imagine the doors opening. What is seeking to come through? The first question is, what is seeking to come through? And we just breathe. What is seeking to come through? And we breathe. And the second question, what must I release in order for what is seeking to come through, to come through. What must I release to make room for that which is seeking to come through? What must I let go of? And we breathe. The last question. What else wants to be known now? What else is there for me to know now? I am ready to receive whatever wants to be known now. And we breathe. And we take a breath, giving thanks for that which has come and that which has gone. And as we breathe in the thanksgiving of what's come and what has gone, what has made itself known, that which is seeking expression through us, we call upon that which knows all that there is to know. And in this call, we say yes. We say yes to that which is seeking expression through us and as us. We say yes to that which is done. We say yes to that which has been released, declaring it complete and finished. We allow what is to be, knowing that everything that has come forth is for us. And so we allow the space and time for it to germinate, to settle in. And we do so with strength, with courage, and with wisdom, knowing that love shows us the way. And so we are grateful for the illumination. We are grateful for the illumination of love, the illumination of the divine as us and through us. And so in this moment of clarity, of releasing, of revealing, of positive expectancy, we say yes, knowing that the whole wide world, the universe, says yes with us. We stay open for anything else that wants to come tonight in our dreams. We set a bedtime intention to receive it. And we trust the way in which it appears. We pay attention. We recognize what is for us as such and give thanks. And so we release this. We release this into the magnetic energy of the moon, into this harvest moon, knowing that we reap what is in our consciousness. And with that, I say, and so it is, knowing that it is so. Ashe and amen. And you could take a nice cleansing breath and gently bring yourselves back into this space and time. And whatever that experience was for you is fine. We don't have to label it as working or not working, as good or bad. It just is. And the willingness is all that matters. Okay. So I'll give you a minute or two if you want to do any additional writing, if something is present for you now from that process, you can jot it down now. If there's a question that came forth, you can write down the question and just keep yourself open for the answer. So we'll take a minute to do that. Okay. So that is our meditation with the moon, the full moon in Pisces, the harvest moon. We did our inspirational reading with the Science of Mind magazine. We did our meditation and journaling with a mini visioning process. And we close with a yes prayer for what came through. So I hope that was good for you. I trust that what is for you, you are receiving it. You are receiving it. So, tomorrow it is the best of Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I'm going to be on location. I'm going to Portland, Oregon for a spiritual retreat that I'm very excited about. And so I'm not sure what the Wi Fi situation is going to be there because it's in the woods. So just in case, it'll be best of living life in joy. So please stay tuned for that tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I hope you got a chance to see today's Living Life in Joy. If you didn't, please check out the replay. It's a wonderful conversation with Lisa Sutton, who is the founder of In God's Hand, which is one of the organizations that we supported through Hero Ministry. It's one of the 7 organizations that Sekou supports, and they provide services to the unhoused. All right. So we have our after party. So you can join me in Zoom if you would like to share this experience, what came up for you, or anything that may be on your mind. We get together, just fellowship, and be with each other for a little bit. All right? So the Sekou's putting his hands up like this. So I'll tell you. It's Bitly. It's Bitly. Hold on. Oh, I have it right here. It's Bitly. No, that's not it. Oh, it's the same one as the last time. Yes, yes. Oh, look at Nan. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody there. Yes. Bitly, yes, moon, joy. Just for a little bit. All right. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Let's live life in joy, connected to our yes.